And that's where it becomes concerning, because the men are flocking to this ideology, and the connection is not a genuine desire for love and companionship. The connection is hate, disdain, distaste, malice toward American Black women.
Welcome back to another video with the Unspecialist. And things are getting quite interesting. Popular female YouTuber Kimberly Foster, also known as For Harriet, decided to step out of her typical topic stream to give her commentary and thoughts about the Passport Bros. I didn't know about her until she was mentioned in the comments of my Divestor documentary, and by coincidence, I happened to come across this upload of hers. It's a long video, and she says quite a lot, so I'll break down some of the points that she makes. Let's go.
I don't feel any particularly strong feelings about this movement because we've all decided that these are not people that we want, you know? My concern is not about men deciding that they want to enter and participate in a different kind of marriage market. The concern mainly is about men deciding that before they get their passports, buy their flights, and exit the United States to get a woman who will accept them, we'll say, that they are trafficking in the oldest, nasty, most virulent tropes about Black women and spreading them, and that those talking points about Black women are being further normalized.
She opens up by saying that it's unanimously agreed that these are men that they don't want, and she's not concerned about them looking for love elsewhere. She's more concerned about them trafficking in negative stereotypes about American Black women. Let's look through the rest of the video to see how committed she is to this position.
What I think is so interesting about the Passport Bros is, one, most Black people, like 2/3 to 3/4 of Black people don't have a passport, have never been out of the country. And okay, beyond don't have a passport, have never been out of the country, can't really afford to take care of a stay-at-home person. Like, you don't have it, you know?
One of the first things she mentions is that most Black Americans don't have a passport, can't travel, and can't afford to take care of a stay-at-home person. None of that matters because those who can are doing so, and those who can't are either working towards it or they're not interested in it at all.
And so when we see the proliferation of this Passport Bros thing, you know, the idea and the talking points, it really is clear to me that #PassportBros is not so much an identity, you know, a collective of people who have decided that they are going to flee the United States and find wives. It's more an ideology.
Next, she calls it an ideology, which it clearly isn't. She establishes that straw man so that she can claim that the men don't want love and companionship, but instead it's all about hating American Black women. According to Cambridge, an ideology is a systematic set of beliefs upon which an organization is based. The #PassportBros most certainly does not qualify. However, she has to call it an ideology for her next set of statements to even make sense.
The ideas build on each other. You can't have one idea about where is my wife without the other idea of she's not here because these women are fucking ugly and over emotional, you know, like you don't.
She called it an ideology so that she could connect those two ideas in order to paint the group negatively. Remember that an ideology is systematic. So if we accept that it is an ideology, then, as she said, every time there's a question of where's my wife, there's also a built-in hatred of American Black women. An intellectual and insidious tactic by her, in my opinion.
And so this antagonism that the Passport Bros seem to be trying to foment between Black American women and women in these other nations is just, it's absurd to me. Because I'm not competing with them. We're not in we're not even playing the same game. We're not on the same field.
Before I break down the rest of this section, I have to note that there hasn't appeared to be any serious attempts at fomenting antagonism between foreign women and Western women by the passport bros, as I would have proved in my previous video about the black women versus the Filipinos. The Western women decided to attack the foreign women of their own volition, and everything that ensued was just the foreign women responding.
I'm also not jealous of the women who, there's in one of those TikToks, there was a woman who was saying, oh, we love black men. When we see them, we're so excited. And there's another, I think a Filipino woman that has gone viral for saying, oh, if y'all don't want these black men, we will gladly take them. No part of me is jealous of that, because I understand that there are very particular circumstances that would push those women to accept a deal that we as Western women, and just me individually as Kimberly, would not accept, okay?
She has a point here, and this particular issue is why they're leaving the environment.
Living in an underdeveloped nation. And by the way, right, we know that the United States government contemporarily and historically has played a huge part in making sure that so many of these nations that the passport bros want to flock to flee to, that they continue to be underdeveloped, under-resourced. And, scooping up those women and saying, I can get you out of here, it's not, certainly not an enviable position to be in. And
here, Kimberly does the same patronizing, belittling talk we've seen before about the foreign women being poor, disadvantaged, and desperate to escape their home countries.
That deal that looks good to them looks absolutely horrible to me.
Most passport bros seem to place culture at the heart of the problem and advise men not to bring women back to the US or the West to become Americanized or Westernized. The women also seem quite content to live in their home countries.
Genuine love and connection, okay, whatever. But truly, the reason why this is becoming so popular, this idea and ideology are becoming so popular, because men see this as an avenue for them to be able to reclaim their rightful power within the home. The passport bros, this entire thing does not work without grossly inequitable home lives. If those women had leverage, if they had power, they would not be desirable. And what we know and have known historically is that when there is gross inequity in a home, when one partner has all of the power, all of the options, pays all of the bills, the other partner gets disempowered, and sometimes it works for a time. But what happens when you're unhappy? How do you negotiate? What happens if there's abuse? What do you do? Where do you go?
Next, we have the typical bad faith argument that the men are doing this to take advantage of the women and oppress them because they have no power or leverage. Then she asks, what about abuse and other negative circumstances? As if the societies where these cultural norms exist haven't been working and functioning all along and creating stable families. In short, what's West is best. And as for the rest, well, let's just assume the women are abused and disadvantaged.
The conversations about the passport bros, they're not exactly coherent, right? Because on one hand, there is a group of Black men who are saying, we are high value men, and we are the men that y'all want and y'all are chasing after, and we are the men who are refusing to lock you down, refusing to partner with you, refusing. And then on the other hand, there's another set of passport bros who are like, we are the men that y'all said y'all don't want because y'all are chasing after Pookies and Ray Rays, and y'all only want the 20%. And so the non-select men, the bottom 4/5, the bottom 4 quintiles, we're gonna go and take our talents elsewhere because y'all are only looking at the men who are 6'5" and make $200,000. And I'm like, so what is y'all gotta come together to decide what the narrative is gonna be.
This was perhaps the funniest part of our stream, because when She said the conversation wasn't coherent. She destroyed her own assertion that this is an ideology. But to address what she said, the conversation isn't consistent among detractors either, with some, like Kimberly, saying that these are undesirable men and others claiming that they're predators, saying that they're broke. But again, as Kimberly herself said, most can't afford to travel. So if they can't afford to travel, then they can't be bottom of the barrel. This is inconsistent logic. And this inconsistent logic is why she had to say that it's not about them wanting to leave, but about the stereotypes that they allegedly proliferate about Black women. So if questions about her motives arise, she can always say, oh, this is about stopping the narratives that these men proliferate, when she's already acknowledged that they belong to a minority, and according to her, they can't really do it like that, so it's not a phenomenon.
Which is not a phenomenon because niggas don't have it like that. It's not a real phenomenon because it's just not accessible to 4/5 to 9/10 of Black men. It's just not, okay?
Do you think she has a point, or is she just salty? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content in the future.
Okay, so why am I not mad? I'm not mad because it's clear to me, based on the TikToks and the videos and even the articles that I've read about this, that these are men who want a marriage market, a dating market that they can compete in, okay?
And those people that really understand it, they really understand it, they said it's incredible the job that we've done.